Imagine like your immune system, not just fighting cancer, but remembering how to defeat it, keeping it at bay for good.
Right.
That's the future that a tiny protein called CD40 might unlock.
Wow.
Now, you're probably wondering what exactly is this CD40 and why haven't I heard about it before?
Well, you're about to dive deep into a fascinating area of cancer research. We're working with an article from Assay Genie,
Okay.
a leading scientific resource, that calls CD40 a secret weapon in the fight against cancer.
Secret weapon, huh? Okay, that definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Walk me through this.
Sure.
What exactly is CD40 and why all the hype?
So picture CD40 as like a communication hub on the surface of your immune cells. It's like a switchboard that, when activated, can direct the immune system's entire response.
Okay, so it's like the control center for our body's natural defenses.
Exactly. Tell me more.
Exactly. And this control center has a specific key that activates it, a molecule called CD40L.
Okay.
When CD40L connects with CD40.
All right. It triggers a cascade of actions within the immune system.
This is where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah.
What happens when that switch is flipped? What makes this process so crucial for fighting cancer?
You're right. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. CD40 activation has three main superpowers.
Okay.
First, it supercharges those cells responsible for detecting threats, the antigen-presenting cells, or APCs.
Right.
It's like giving them a much-needed software upgrade, making them incredibly efficient at recognizing and presenting information about the cancer cells.
So no more cancer flying under the radar.
Right.
It's exposed. What's the next superpower in this arsenal?
The second superpower is all about arming the warriors, the T cells. CD40 activation primes them,
Right.
making them more alert, more aggressive, and more effective at destroying those rogue cancer cells.
Wow.
It's like taking your immune system's special forces and giving them top-of-line training and weaponry.
Wow, so we've got the scouts on high alert and the warriors locked and loaded. What's the third superpower that CD40 brings to this battle?
This is where it gets really elegant.
Okay.
CD40 also activates B cells, which are like the immune system's intelligence unit.
Right.
These B cells are responsible for creating antibodies and forming a memory of the threat,
Right.
building long-term immunity. This means that stimulating CD40 could lead to longer-lasting remission from cancer, potentially even preventing its recurrence.
So it's not just about launching an attack, it's about teaching our bodies to defend themselves in the future.
Yes.
That's a game changer.
Exactly. And this is precisely why researchers are so excited about the potential of CD40.
Yeah.
By manipulating it, we can essentially choreograph a highly targeted and effective immune response against cancer.
Okay, I'm starting to see why they call it a secret weapon.
Right.
But let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Cancer is notorious for evading our immune system.
Absolutely.
How does activating CD40 overcome those sneaky tactics?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, cancer cells are masters of disguise and deception.
Right.
They've evolved ways to hide from and even suppress our immune defenses.
It's like they've learned to play dead or even wear a friendly uniform to blend in.
Exactly.
So how does CD40 help expose and eliminate these tricksters?
Well, remember those three superpowers we discussed?
Yeah.
Let's look at them again, but this time through the lens of cancer's tricks. Firstly, CD40 supercharges those APCs, those vigilant scouts,
Right.
by enhancing their ability to spot those disguised cancer cells.
Right.
They ensure that cancer can't hide.
So it's like we're giving our immune system a pair of X-ray glasses to see right through cancer's disguises.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. What about our T-cell warriors?
Yeah.
How do they benefit in this scenario?
Well, activating CD40 is like sending our T cells to an elite boot camp.
Right.
They become more efficient and ruthless at their job,
Wow.
transforming what might have been a fair fight into a complete domination of those cancer cells.
It sounds like we're talking about turning the tide of battle.
Absolutely.
Shifting the power dynamic in favor of our own bodies. That's incredibly empowering.
Precisely. But there's one more player in this complex battleground. The tumor-associated macrophages, or TAMs.
Ah, yes, the TAMs. You mentioned them earlier.
Yes.
Something about double agents, right?
Exactly.
Refresh my memory. How do they fit into all of this?
So in a healthy environment, macrophages are like the cleanup crew,
Okay.
engulfing and removing debris. However, cancer cells can manipulate these macrophages,
Right.
turning them into TAMs traders that support tumor growth and weaken the immune response.
Talk about a hostile takeover.
Okay.
So how do we turn these double agents back to our side? Is it even possible?
That's where the true genius of CD40 comes in.
Okay.
Activating CD40 can reprogram these TAMs,
Wow.
turning them from enemies back into powerful allies in the fight against cancer.
Okay.
It's like we flipped the script, transforming those who were once aiding the enemy into valuable members of our own defense force.
Okay, this is seriously impressive.
Yeah.
We've gone from enhancing our defenses to completely outmaneuvering cancer's tricks.
Right.
CD40 really does sound like the Swiss Army knife of immunotherapy.
Absolutely.
But how do scientists actually put this knowledge into practice? How do we go from theory to actual treatment?
This is where things move from the lab to potentially groundbreaking therapies.
Okay.
Scientists have developed CD40 agonists,
Right.
molecules designed to directly stimulate that all-important CD40 pathway and boost the immune system's response against tumors.
So it's like giving our immune system a power-up, an extra boost to fight even harder.
Exactly.
What do these CD40 agonists actually look like?
There are two main types that are showing incredible promise.
Okay.
First up, we have agonistic antibodies.
Okay.
These are specially designed antibodies that mimic the action of CD40L.
Right.
That key we talked about earlier, one
Right.
that unlocks at the communication hub.
Right. So these antibodies are like sending reinforcements to make sure that signal to fight is received loud and clear.
Exactly.
What about the second type? What's their claim to fame?
Exactly. They bind to CD40 on our immune cells and amplify the signal,
Right.
leading to a much stronger response against the cancer.
Right.
The second type involves combining these CD40 agonists with another powerful tool we have,
Okay.
checkpoint inhibitors.
Checkpoint inhibitors, those are the therapies that essentially release the brakes on our immune system, right?
You got it.
Allowing it to attack cancer cells without holding back.
You've got it. Cancer cells are crafty,
Right.
often exploiting certain checkpoints to suppress the immune response,
Yeah.
preventing our T cells from reaching their full potential.
Hmm.
Combining CD40 agonists with checkpoint inhibitors is like a 1-2 punch.
Okay.
You're first ramping up the immune response with CD40 activation, and then you're removing the brakes with checkpoint inhibitors,
Right.
unleashing the full force of the immune system on those cancer cells.
Okay, this sounds incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
This combination therapy approach seems like it could be revolutionary. Are there any specific examples of CD40 agonists being used in clinical trials,
Absolutely.
real-world applications of all this incredible science?
Absolutely. There are a number of CD40 agonists in various stages of development and clinical trials as we speak.
Wow.
For instance, APX005M and SGN40 are two examples of agonistic antibodies that have shown a lot of promise in treating solid tumors.
Okay.
And what's fascinating about SGN40 is that it's also showing potential for hematological malignancies,
Wow.
which are cancers that affect blood cells.
Wow, so we're talking about potentially treating a wide range of cancers with this approach.
Exactly.
That's incredibly exciting. This CD40 pathway really does seem like it could unlock a whole new era of cancer treatment.
It really does.
But I'm sure it's not all smooth sailing, right? There must be challenges in harnessing such a powerful system.
Right.
What are some of the obstacles scientists are facing in unlocking the full potential of CD40?
You're right. As with any groundbreaking area of science, there are always challenges to overcome.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as flipping a switch and watching the cancer vanish, unfortunately.
So what are some of the roadblocks on this path to a CD40-powered cure?
Right.
What are the questions that still need answers?
Well, one of the most significant challenges is the risk of an overstimulation of the immune system.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about CD40 being like a communication hub?
Right.
Activating it systemically can sometimes create an excessive immune response.
So it's about finding the right balance, that
Yeah.
sweet spot between activating the immune system enough to fight the cancer, but not so much that it starts attacking healthy cells.
Exactly. Too much stimulation can lead to side effects,
Right.
and in some cases, these can be quite severe.
Yeah.
One example is something called cytokine release syndrome, or CRS.
I've heard of that. Isn't that where the immune system goes into overdrive and basically attacks the body's own tissues?
You got it.
Yeah.
It's a serious condition that can even be life-threatening if not managed properly. So researchers are constantly working on more refined ways to deliver these CD40 agonists and fine-tune the dosage to minimize these risks while maximizing their impact.
It's like trying to harness a powerful force of nature.
Right.
You need just the right amount of control to prevent it from becoming destructive.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Another challenge lies in the very nature of cancer itself.
Right.
Its complexity.
Yeah.
Not all tumors are the same.
Right.
Some might have higher levels of CD40, making them more responsive to these therapies,
Yeah.
while others might have developed resistance mechanisms.
Yes.
We call this tumor heterogeneity,
Yeah.
and it's a major hurdle in cancer treatment as a whole.
So it's like having a key that works for some doors but not others.
Exactly.
We need to figure out why, right?
Precisely. We need to understand why some tumors respond better than others.
Right.
And that boils down to identifying reliable biomarkers.
Okay.
These biomarkers would act like signposts, guiding us to determine which patients are most likely to benefit from CD40-based therapies.
So it's about personalizing the treatment, making sure we're using the right tool for the job.
You got it. And this ties into another important aspect,
Okay.
which is optimizing combination therapies.
Yeah.
While using CD40 agonists alongside checkpoint inhibitors shows enormous potential,
Right.
figuring out the ideal combination,
Right.
the right dosage,
Yeah.
and the optimal timing is crucial.
Right.
It's like trying to perfect a recipe.
Right.
You can have all the right ingredients, but if you don't combine them in the right way, you won't get the desired outcome.
What's so fascinating is that while we're talking about these incredibly complex mechanisms and cutting-edge science, the core concept is remarkably simple. We're essentially giving the body's natural defenses a boost,
Right.
helping them do what they already do, but with greater precision and power.
That's a great point. The elegance of this approach lies in its ability to work with the body's natural defenses,
Right.
not against them.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly powerful.
It really makes you appreciate the incredible complexity and potential of our own immune systems, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that sometimes the most effective solutions lie within our own biology,
Right.
waiting to be unlocked.
And unlocking those solutions requires a depth understanding of the intricate workings of our cells, which is exactly what researchers are working on right now.
Absolutely.
They're exploring every angle to maximize the potential of CD40 and transform the way we treat cancer.
That's right.
And it's not just about finding a cure.
Right.
It's about improving the lives of those living with cancer, extending their time, and enhancing their quality of life.
And it's not just about finding a cure. It's about improving the lives of those living with cancer,
Right.
extending their time,
Yeah.
and enhancing their quality of life.
It's about giving hope where hope may have felt lost, and empowering people to fight back with everything they've got.
Yeah.
This has been a mind-blowing journey into the world of CD40 and its potential to change everything about how we approach cancer treatment.
Yeah.
But before we move on,
Yeah.
I think it's important to step back and address something crucial that often gets overshadowed by the excitement of these new discoveries.
I agree. It's easy to get caught up in the promise of breakthrough therapies,
Right.
but it's equally crucial to understand the challenges and address them openly and honestly.
Exactly. So for the final part of our deep dive, let's take a look at the realities, the obstacles, and the ethical considerations that go hand in hand with these powerful new tools in our medical arsenal. We've spent this episode talking about CD40,
Right.
how it's like handing our immune system this detailed map to defeat cancer.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, with any powerful tool,
Right.
there's always the question of responsible use.
Absolutely. As we venture further into this new world of immunotherapy,
Right.
careful consideration and caution are paramount. It goes beyond simply pushing scientific limits. It's about making sure every single advancement is achieved ethically,
Right.
always putting the patient's well-being first.
Couldn't agree more. So let's discuss the realities of this, the hurdles, maybe even some hard truths that come with this research. What are the ethical considerations surrounding CD40-based therapies as they move closer to mainstream treatments?
Well, one of the biggest concerns, as we've touched upon, is
Yeah.
the potential for unintended consequences.
Right.
We've talked about how activating the immune system is a delicate act.
Right.
We want to amplify its power to fight cancer,
Right.
but we don't want to accidentally unleash it on healthy cells in the process.
It's that risk of overstimulation we discussed, the possibility of things like cytokine release syndrome or other autoimmune reactions.
Exactly. With any new treatment,
Right.
particularly those using the complexity of the immune system,
Yeah.
we must always consider unforeseen side effects. Closely monitoring patients for any adverse reactions is crucial, and having strict protocols to manage them quickly and effectively is essential.
It's a constant balancing act.
Yes.
Trying to find that perfect point where the treatment is effective, but also safe for the patient.
You've hit the nail on the head. This is where open communication and informed consent become absolutely vital.
Right.
Patients need complete transparency about the potential benefits and risks associated with these therapies.
Okay.
They must be active participants in their treatment decisions,
Right.
with their values and preferences at the heart of every plan.
It highlights how this is about so much more than just science.
Yeah,
There's a human element that can't be overlooked.
absolutely.
Compassionate conversations, managing expectations, ensuring patients feel empowered to make educated choices about their health.
Right.
These are all vital aspects.
Without a doubt. And this leads directly into another crucial point:
Okay.
access and affordability.
Right.
Developing these cutting-edge therapies is incredibly expensive,
Right.
a cost often reflected in the price tag of these treatments.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that everyone who needs these life-changing therapies can get them,
Right.
regardless of their financial situation.
It's about bridging the gap between groundbreaking scientific discovery and making sure healthcare is equitable.
Exactly.
We don't want a future where these advancements are only accessible to the privileged few.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This requires a multifaceted approach: collaboration, innovation,
Right.
a genuine commitment to finding solutions that work long-term.
Right.
Researchers, doctors, policymakers, even insurance providers
Yeah.
all need to work together to guarantee these life-saving treatments are available to anyone who needs them.
It truly takes a collective effort,
It does.
a shared responsibility to ensure everyone reaps the benefits of scientific progress.
I couldn't agree more. And as we navigate these complex issues,
Yeah.
we have to consider the long-term implications of how we're manipulating the immune system.
Right.
CD40 therapies hold immense promise, but it's still early days in understanding their full impact.
Sure.
We need to invest in long-term studies,
Right.
track how long responses last, watch for any late-onset side effects,
Right.
and be prepared for unforeseen consequences that might surface down the line.
It's a great point. It's not just about celebrating the wins.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing we still have a lot to learn.
That's right.
Approaching this field with a balance of excitement and humility, a commitment to ongoing research and refining our methods as we go.
Right.
That's essential.
Absolutely. Scientific discovery isn't a sprint.
Right.
It's more like a marathon.
Yeah.
It takes patience, perseverance, and the willingness to adapt as new information comes to light.
As we wrap up this incredible deep dive into the world of CD40 and its potential to revolutionize how we treat cancer, I'm left with such a sense of awe at the ingenuity of these scientists and the remarkable resilience of the human body. More than that, though, I'm filled with hope that these breakthroughs will bring tangible benefits to the lives of those battling this disease.
I share that hope wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
The future of cancer treatment is changing rapidly, and CD40 is at the forefront of that change.
Right.
It's a future where we can harness the immune system with incredible accuracy, where personalized medicine becomes the norm, and where hope outshines fear.
It's a future where a cancer diagnosis isn't a death sentence, but a challenge we can overcome.
That's right.
It's been an incredible journey exploring this.
Yeah, it has.
But like any good deep dive, it
Yeah.
leaves us with even more questions than answers.
Absolutely.
But that, I think, is the beauty of science.
It is.
This constant journey of discovery, of pushing boundaries, of challenging ourselves to envision a future where everyone has a chance at a healthier life.
Well said. It's that sense of wonder,
Yeah.
that drive to understand,
Right.
that keeps us asking questions,
Yeah.
seeking answers,
Right.
and ultimately making a difference for the people who need it most.
And on that note of optimism and insatiable curiosity, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the captivating world of CD40.
It's been a pleasure.
A huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep those questions coming and never stop exploring the wonders of science.